everyone. I am live on at Nel Shelby Films here at Jacob's Pillow. This is the beautiful Blake's Barn. On the front of it, it says "Welcoming the World." This is, we'll tell you a little bit more about that exhibit in a moment. And I am Nel Shelby. I am the director of media here at Jacob's Pillow, and I'm also the executive producer and owner of Nel Shelby Productions. Hi, everyone who just joined. So I'll just tell you a little bit, and then I will invite my guest in. I'm live today with Norton Owen. He is the Director of Preservation in the Archives right here at Jacob's Pillow Dance Festival. Today we're talking about how video plays a role in preserving dance history. Maybe we'll touch on photographs as well. Norton and I have a very long history. I have been here since 2001 when I was an intern, a video dance. Okay, we're back. So I just want to give a little disclaimer. We are in the woods here at Jacob's Pillow. The internet is not fabulous. It's becoming more and more fabulous, but I just want you to know there is a chance that we could be kicked off like Christopher Duggan and I were a few weeks ago. So just get ready. But hopefully it won't happen. So anyway, Norton and I have had a long history. I was an intern here, and then I came here as the videographer in 2004. And then my role continued on to be video producer. Now I'm the director of media, where I run the media team, which includes the photographers as well. And so Norton and I have almost 2 decades together, actually maybe a little bit over. So we've been working alongside each other for a very long time. So I'm going to let him in so you all can say hi to him, and I just need to invite him. So we love the patience when this happens. And hopefully he will join here shortly. Let's see, I'll just keep talking to you, and hopefully our internet and everything will work out perfectly. Hi everyone, I'll just wave to you again. Thanks for joining. If you just joined, here, let's see if we can get him in here. Let's see. Let's try again. It could be the internet. Could be the internet. I'm going to invite him again. All right. Let's see. I could even maybe walk over and say, Norton, can you get on? Norton, if you see me, you could even just come out here and you could just walk outside and we could just do it right next to each other for everybody. So if you are having a hard time getting on, I'm looking around to see if I see you. Let's try one more time. So nice to see everybody. If you are, if you're not here, if you haven't been to Jacob's Pillow this summer, I'm going to give you a little, there it is. The Blake's Barn, so beautiful here. We're having a nice sunny day. And let me just try again. Let's see. Norton. There he is. Okay. Okay. I'm going to there we go. Okay, hi Therese. Oh, there we go. Norton's here. Okay, let me invite him again. Okay, here we go. Yay. Okay, we're going to try it again. Oh. Welcome to the woods, everybody. Maybe that worked. Goodness. I think it's coming. He's coming. Norton, if you are seeing me and hearing me, you could come outside and we could just do this together because maybe the internet is not behaving. Norton is unable to join. I know the wood. Oh wait, but let's try it one more time. Okay, we are persistent here at Jacob's Pillow. Gonna try again. Okay. Norton, it keeps asking me to accept you. Oh, I hear you. Okay, we're gonna just do this right here.
This is how it works best. Because we are in the woods. What can I say?
Okay, so here we are.
But how nice that we're
we
framing Blake's
yeah, I
barn
know.
in
That's what
between
I.
us.
That's what I kind of loved. And Therese
Yeah.
Capicili was just on here.
Oh.
I actually think I just saw Alexi Rutmansky.
Hey, everybody.
So we'll just wave to everybody, and you can just now see my questions right there. But I'm going to ask you. So anyways, hi everyone. This is Owen, and I don't know if you heard my intro to you.
No,
you didn't.
Yeah. But that's all right. You don't have to repeat it.
I'm not going to repeat it.
I know who I am.
I thought it would be funny to see us in little squares, but maybe Norton. See, it says Norton's unable to join.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here is Norton, and I'm going to ask him a few questions today. So mainly, I said that we're going to talk about how video plays a role in preserving dance.
Yeah, boy, does it ever.
In the archives, exactly. So let's just dive in.
Yeah, I was set up. I was trying to speak to you from the closet, but I've been out of the closet for some time now, so I guess that was what the problem was. So the closet is where we have about 10,000 videos, and that is one of the main attractions with people coming into Blake's Barn is to see all of the riches that we have there. I mean, it is virtually everything that has been performed at the Pillow since 1982. So these 41 years. But then, of course, many things going back to the very beginning. We have films that date from Ted Schoen's Dancers here in the 1930s, and then many things along the way as well. There's been a tradition for documentation here at the Pillow, and it's one that I inherited, but that I've also maximized, let's say. So, the what people want to see when they come here is dance. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they don't just want to see like old programs and old photographs. They want to see actual dance. And we're lucky to have been preserving this. And of course, we have, it's not just what's going on right now at Jacob's Pillow, but also what has gone on here over the past decades. And all of those things can come together when somebody visits, because they can see a live performance, but they can also see a performance from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and have that be part of what they're experiencing here as well. And it's that conversation between past and present that really makes the Pillow experience come alive.
That's great. Well, you just summed it all up. Thank you, Norton.
So am I done?
Yeah, you're done.
No. Nothing I would say pleases me more than having a chance to talk about these resources and with also a partner in crime here who makes it possible, because we can do all the archiving that we like, but if things haven't been documented to begin with, then we got nothing to share. So, documentation is part of it. And then also part of it really here, which we prove day after day, is access to it. It's not away somewhere.
Right.
Other than it is in the video closet, but it is accessible. And one of the things that always tickles me when somebody comes in and they ask for something really esoteric, like, maybe you don't have this, but in 1985, I was a student here and we did something on the outdoor stage, and I was like, yep, we got it.
Oh my gosh.
And then, and we're able to bring it out within, 30 seconds. And people are always so like, oh my God, you knew right where that was. And I always say, well, we have a system, we don't wait for somebody to ask for something from 40 years ago and then go, now where could that be? It's cataloged, we know where things are. We can find things, and that is the beauty of having it, is also being able to share it.
Yeah. Well, so I think that's a great segue of asking you for like, is there any specific things that like you're looking for in what and how we film here at Jacob's Pillow?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think mostly, I guess what we're trying to capture is the performance. I mean, we're not necessarily the making the best capture of the choreography. For
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, I would really leave that to the the artists themselves. The that's what the companies should be worried about doing, because they are performing in lots of different places. What we're trying to do is capture, well, what was their experience here?
Mm-hmm.
What was their performance here? So we're not so much trying to, I mean, as it turns out, we do have, of course, a remarkable record of performances, and sometimes they may be the only, um, certainly the only publicly accessible record of a particular performance. But, I think in terms of documenting choreography, there may be other strategies that could be or should be employed in doing that.
Mm.
That an artist may want to, if their goal is, I want to get the best possible um, shot of, like, to see what every single person in this piece is doing. Well, then you're probably going to want to, like, set up a special video shoot
Right.
and do something that's dedicated to it. What we're trying to do is capture, what did an audience see here at the Pillow,
I
done in
think
a
that's
really beautiful way.
I think that's a really good point because and I'm wondering like just as one that archives and you've been doing this for so long, like when we started adding cameras, like a third camera for the live stream, because I
Mm.
feel like you've said to me, I'll be totally honest, you've said I'd like to see full body, like I'm just curious of like how things are going, if as someone that preserves work, like how do you feel about that?
Well, what we like to do, I mean, mostly, yeah, as you know, when we record something here, we keep each
Mm-hmm.
separate camera view, as well as a mix. And if somebody is just coming in saying, I'd like to see this performance from Mark Morris Dance Group from 2010, we'll usually show them the mix because it's the most watchable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine, of course, if it does go into close-ups and then you're just seeing the person's face for a while. Most people are going to be fine with that because it makes it more viewable, and it's closer to what somebody would experience in the theater,
Right.
because
Right.
maybe you would on your own, yes, you'd be surveying the whole thing, but for a while maybe you're really focused on one dancer and you're looking at that soloist, and people are doing things around the edges, but you're not really seeing that for that minute or two. So I think it's fine that we do that,
Mm-hmm.
particularly because we're capturing everything. We have
Yeah.
the wide camera, and if somebody is like, no, I wanted to see what the person in the back row was doing all during this part, great, you can watch that,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see what that person is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But for watchability, I think it's great that we have the mixes and have those available.
And you started, I'm going definitely off script as there's ants crawling all over the
Yeah,
computer and
well,
everything.
we're in the country.
I know we're in the country for sure. Thank goodness it's a nice day because it's been
Yeah.
very rainy here at the Pillow. And hi to everybody. You see Wendy Parents on there.
Yes, I see
Yeah.
that.
So and Meg just joined,
Yes.
our intern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about like, I like being in so there's Jacob's Pillow Dance Interactive, and that's where maybe you can talk a little bit more about that, but that's where a lot of these films are used, and we just do 1 minute up to 2 minute moments of the shows and put them on the Dance Interactive so that people can then find these and have a way to look at these artists. And so I feel like what you were just talking about, when you're looking at these, I feel like you've said some things, oh, I'd like to get closer, or I like to be wider. And so what are you thinking about when you're putting together, like
Well,
when you're curating and also when you're looking at the actual footage?
yeah. I mean, I think, again, for Jacob's Pillow Dance Interactive, what we're mostly trying for is to give the essence, if we can, for any artist that we're looking at, or a particular performance. So, yes, you're not going to capture everything in a couple of minutes, but it's also not just randomly chosen. It's really very carefully chosen, and we're both involved in in our weekly meetings to look over the possibilities and make, fine tune those clips that we're putting there. For most people, and I know that we have some specialists on this call who are saying, well, no, that's not true. I want to see full performances. Okay, well, the people who want to see full performances are definitely in the minority, and the way that most people use the resource is just to see, oh, that piece that I heard about, what does it look like,
Right.
and they can get that in a couple of minutes. And of course, the whole terrain of being able to put full performances on the internet is a huge hurdle, which we alone can't really get over. So we're doing what we can. And it turns out that what we can is, for many people, actually perfect. That being able to see, okay, I know I'm not seeing the full esplanade, but I get a sense from this 2-minute highlight of sort of what it is, or I get, because I've seen it a million times, I can be reminded of it from this, or I can show the essence of it to somebody else through this. And it's different than, I would say, some of the clips that you find on YouTube or just in random places. It's not just a random excerpt from something. It is usually we've tried to choose something that is meaningful and that is, as they say, representative. And know that for many users, that easy access to something that really personifies that artist in some way is what they're looking for. It's not the oh, I'd like to spend 40 minutes on my computer watching this entire piece.
Right.
And for those people, I say, okay, well, through what you're familiar with here, what you can get familiar with through Jacob's Pillow, then you can say, oh, I really need to see this piece in full. Let me go to an archive and do that.
Right.
So in a way, we're kind of acting like a gateway drug, maybe, or or like a trailer for a movie. Like, you see movie trailers and nobody watches movie trailers and thinks, no, I want to be able to see the whole movie right now.
Right.
No, you're seeing something else. But what you can get from a movie trailer is, oh, I really need to see that film. And then you go out and you see it.
And what amazing education. I remember Ashley Meter in 2007, one of the interns. I remember she just could not be more excited. She thought, oh my gosh, if I only had this in dance history, because I think, wasn't that the first year, 2007? That with the kiosk. Yeah. And so I it's just a wonderful way to be able to get a sneak peek into so much that goes on in dance history all over the world.
Yeah. I just ran into Dara Carr. She and Sean Curran are here with their joint production that's going to be on the outdoor stage tonight and tomorrow. And Dara said, she teaches dance history at Purchase, and she said, how much she depends on Jacob's Pillow Dance Interactive in her classes. So I was happy for that, which I hear all the time. And I mean, all I can say is I wish more people were doing the kind of thing that we're doing with Dance Interactive, because come on in, the water is fine. It's actually a great place to engage with the public and to, I hope, create a wider public for dance, because we should be in more places that are informative, but also I hope exciting for people to interact with. It's right there in the title, Jacob's Pillow Dance Interactive. So that
Yeah.
you can make a choice and you can sort of fall into the rabbit hole, but in an enjoyable way, and be able to follow the trail from one artist to the next, and discover some things that you might not know otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. Do you so we could probably talk forever about this is your life's work. And so I feel like we could probably do like a part 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so can you talk, I'm always curious about like what do researchers do here? I mean, they research, right? Okay. So
Well,
but can you talk about researchers coming to the
yeah,
archives
I
and
mean,
how they utilize the archives?
they are, each different person is going to have a different, reason for coming, and so I think that but of course it comes back again to the dance. I mean, they don't want to just read something; they want to actually see it, and that's what they can do here. But also, I think one of the things that I've been attuned to for quite a while now is what are the things that we wish we had for periods of the past that just don't exist. I mean, if like, so one of the one of the things that researchers will come here and ask about is like, oh, so well, what were Jacob's with the Techon men dancers, what were they doing in their daily class, or what were they thinking about when they were making this particular dance? And we can answer some of those questions to the best of our ability through written accounts and other kinds of things. What we don't have, but what we have from now are real time kind of recordings of like, okay, here is a particular class. Here's Milton Myers teaching a class, or here's a particular choreographer teaching a master class which includes some of their movement, which has Ronald K. Brown was here a couple of weeks ago, and so he's not just giving movement about it, and we're kept so that when somebody in the future says, well, I see that Ronald K. Brown taught there in 2023, what was he teaching? Well, we don't have to just like give a written account. We can say, well, would you like to watch part of it? So that's what we're aiming for, and that kind of so it's not just the dances, but it's all the contextual information that resides around it, and the interviews that we're doing, as we just spoke about earlier today, that Rennie Harris is going to be here teaching next week, and as part of his time here, we'll do an interview with him.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so it's those kinds of things which I think, unfortunately, I will not be around to receive the kudos 50 years from now, but I hope that that my ghost will be really thrilled to hear that people are indeed able to access these kinds of materials from what we're doing now, and will be giving us a tip of the hat.
Yeah, I hope so. So I have two more questions for you. Are you okay? Do you have another meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. So I say this phrase, your future self, which I feel like is very good as one that preserves and archives things. I just joked with Patsy and Sumi that work with Norton and work with us about always thinking about the future self. So because you're always thinking about the future, do you have like FOMO, like fear of missing out on certain
sure.
things? Like,
well,
how do you handle your FOMO?
Well, mostly we handle it by recording everything. Everything. I'm disappointed, Nell, that you don't have one of your crew people documenting this
our
process.
Surprised I don't, honestly.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
but,
I know. I'm gonna get in trouble after this is over.
But honestly, what we try to do is do as much as possible, because what we don't know, particularly, we don't have crystal balls, although what we can look into the future and see is that people who might be here in the school now, or they're a brand new dancer in Michelle Dorrance's company or whatever it is,
Mm.
that, that then they go on to, like, 20 years from now being like, oh my God, they're a leader in the field. And we didn't know when they were in the school program or just starting out in Michelle's company that they were going to be the mover and shaker of the 2040s, and so what we try to do is just to make sure that we're capturing as much as we can. I mean, I can give you an example,
Please.
when in the 1980s, when we were first videoing everything, and also we had a staff photographer at the time, Stephen Driscoll, who was capturing in still images a lot of things. So, in our ballet program was a 17-year-old from Denmark named Nikolai Hube. And we didn't know at the time that he would be a principal with New York City Ballet or that he would go on to become the director of the Royal Danish Ballet. But we knew he was kind of talented. And so, he's included in the video documentation that we have. So when it came time, when we were doing a documentary about the pillow a few years ago, and there was a focus on Nikolai, we could go back to photographs showing him in ballet class, not because we were featuring him, but just because he was part of that class.
Yeah.
And he was getting personal attention at one point from Benjamin Harkarvey, who directed the program. So that, in fact, is a still that we used in Never Stand Still. A still photograph is of Ben coaching Nikolai. Well, how great. But it wasn't because we had done a photo shoot, a special thing. It was just that we were capturing it and making sure then that that we were keeping it also.
Yeah. So can I tell you my example?
Sure.
I'm going to tell you mine is Calvin Royal III. Like a student here at Jacob's Pillow. I remember we interviewed him and he was 17 maybe or something like that. We've all continued to stay in touch. He's still very involved in the Pillow.
Yeah.
He was just here at the gala, but it's just, we would have known, yes, like you said, of Nikolai Hube, we knew he was talented. We knew he was amazing. So we have footage of him in the school. I think maybe did he come twice? I can't remember, but maybe I just feel like he's been here a lot. But to me, that is another example of, like, thank goodness we interviewed him. Thank goodness we filmed him in the school, and we've continued to document him as he comes here.
Yeah.
Throughout time.
It really all it can be boiled down to having good practices and having standards and processes that go on, that aren't just like, oh, what should we do this summer? I know, like last year we videoed everything, but I'm not feeling it this year. Maybe we'll just do certain things.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's not a way to build an archive, and you really have to be more consistent about it and making sure that we're doing everything. It would be stunning at this point to find out that a particular, something that was performed here, we don't actually have it on video.
Yeah.
Like, we've got it all.
We have it. We have it all. Yeah. We do shift on our strategy, though. Like, I feel like we've had so many conversations over the years, which is great, of just, like, tightening certain things up. We have a way that we film in the school. We try to capture each teacher, where before, I feel like when I was an intern, we went in just a lot. We captured, I feel like I was in there all day long. Maybe it was my imagination, but
well, that was a long time ago also, Nell, so you may
that was a lot. My memory may be failing me big time, but I did become a very good handheld shooter because of Carmela sending me in there so much. But, well, in any case, so let's see, I had one more question for you.
Yes.
And I'm trying to recall what that question was, but I would like for you to tell people, and maybe it'll come to me.
Your question is, what was your question?
My question is what my question is. But I would love for you to just tell people, because we're going to share this again, just how they can come to the archives. Also, if you could touch on the exhibit this summer in the archives. Oh, we just got a text from Rennie Harris.
Oh, wow. Great.
And that's so funny.
Give him a shout out. Okay, good.
Give Rennie Harris a shout out. And then talk about the Pillow Talks.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's very easy to come here, and a lot of people think that it has to, like, oh, that you have to have some kind of special dispensation or whatever. No, all you have to do is be able to come through the door. And I almost said walk through the door, but even that is not necessary because we had Access Dance Company here last week with dancers in wheelchairs, and they wheeled themselves through the door. So we actually were proving we are very accessible in all kinds of ways. We're here a lot of hours every day. During the summertime, we're open with those big barn doors you can see behind me open. We're open from noon until the end of the last show. And so that happens every day except Monday when we don't have shows. And so it's really easy to just come in, and there's always staff on hand to help people. You don't need to know anything other than come with your appetite for dance, and we will be able to help with that. We have exhibits every year. The exhibit this year, you can maybe make out a very large globe there in front of Blake's Barn, which says "Welcoming the World." We are inviting back. Oh, that's sort of like I'm balancing the world on my fingertip there. That's good.
Nice, Norton.
I'm
going
to try to spin it. No, it's not going to spin, but okay. Anyway, the idea of welcoming the world is that is what we're doing now, particularly that we were able to go international. We have not been since 2019 because of the pandemic. But we have several international companies this year that we are really excited about having here. And so we're celebrating that with an exhibit, which I co-curated along with Hari Krishnan and Tanisha Jones, where we looked at all of the international artists who have been at the Pillow before. We did not have room to feature all of them because there are hundreds of them. But we do feature nearly 100, so around 20% of those who have been here have beautiful exhibition-sized photos that have been newly made that are part of the exhibit in Blake's Barn, and that really allows people to grasp the enormity of it. The fact that people have been traveling here from other countries since the 1940s, and way before it was cool, or even things that other people were doing. So that is really celebrated in this exhibit. We have talks that also celebrate these things, and those are free talks that will later be put online. So you can watch for those on YouTube or on watch.jacobspillow.org.
Soonish.
Soonish, indeed.
Great. Well, we have to say hi to some of these people because Amy Jacobus just said hello. Hi, Amy. And Mason Chapello, who is video producer, director, will be here shortly. There's just a lot of people to say hi to.
Yeah.
But that have also contributed deeply to the archives as well.
It takes a village, I will say. And even though I love having the chance to speak like this, and I thank you, Nel, for the opportunity to do that, I want to say that, I stand on lots of people's shoulders, and all the people on your team who are making the documentation, all the people on my team who are cataloging it and making it accessible. My partners in crime, in particular, Patsy Gay and Sumi Matsumoto, who are part of the year-round staff here. I want to also say, in terms of access, it's not just during the season that we're here year-round. And we engage with artists year-round. We engage with the public year-round. So you can either come here, you can snowshoe your way in, or if that's not in the cards, we can figure out ways to welcome you, throughout the year.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Norton. And I feel like we need like a part 2, 3, and 4. We can invite Patsy and Sumi. Maybe, and we can actually be in squares. I forgot to do a little practice session with Norton.
Right.
I thought that I realized that now I know how to do a practice session, but we'll do that in the future. But I've
enjoyed sharing sharing the square with you.
I have like half my face.
I'm trying to like push myself over, so I'm mostly in
I
there.
know. I
But
like
yeah,
I like
yeah,
to do that. So
yeah,
so please come visit the archives. Please come to the Pillow. If you're coming this weekend, come say hi to, or this week, come say hi to us. And thank you so much, Norton. It's
yeah.
always been a pleasure. Always been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to work with you for, it really has been 2 decades, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 19 years,
More,
but I think,
more,
yeah.
more than. But yeah.
More than.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So, all right. Well, we'll say goodbye to everybody. We like it. Bye,
Bye.
Amy.
Bye.
See you later. Okay, let's see.